मध्व उत्स इति भोग्यतयाप्युपात्तौ भूयस्तथेति तव पाणितलप्रदिष्टौ श्रीवेङ्कटेश चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये पार्थाय तत्सदृशसारथिना त्वयैव यौ दर्शितौ स्वचरणौ शरणं व्रजेति भूयोऽपि मह्यमिह तौ करदर्शितौ ते श्रीवेङ्कटेश चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये मन्मूर्ध्निकालियफने विकटाटवीषु श्रीवेङ्कटाद्रिशिखरे शिरसि श्रुतीनां चित्तेऽप्यनन्यमनसां सममाहितौ ते श्रीवेङ्कटेश चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये
अम्लानहृष्य धवनीतलकीर्णपुष्पौ श्रीवेङ्कटाद्रिशिखराभरणायमानौ आनन्दिताखिलमनोनयनौ तवैतौ श्रीवेङ्कटेश चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये प्रायः प्रपन्न जनता प्रथमावगाह्यौ मातुस्थनाविव शिशोरमृतायमानौ प्राप्तौ परस्परतुलामतुलान्तरौ ते श्रीवेङ्कटेश चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये सत्वोत्तरै सतत सेव्य पदाम्बुजेन संसारधारक दयार्द्रदृगञ्चलेन सौम्यो भयन्तृमुनिनाममदर्शितौ ते श्रीवेङ्कटेश चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीशश्रिया घटिकया ततुपाय भावे प्राप्ये त्वयि स्वयमुपेतया स्फुरन्त्या नित्याश्रिताय निरवध्य गुणाय दोभ्यं श्यां किङ्करो वृषगिरीश न जातु मह्यम् श्रियः कान्ताय कल्याण निधये निधयेऽर्थिनां श्रीवेङ्कट निवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मङ्गलम् लक्ष्मी सविभ्रमालोक सुभ्रू विप्रम चक्षुषे सर्वलोकानां वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम् श्रीवेङ्कटाद्रिशृङ्गाग्रमङ्गलापरणाङ्ग्रये मङ्गलानां निवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मङ्गलम् सर्वावयव सौन्दर्य सम्पदा सर्वचेतसां सदा सम्मोहनायास्तु वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
Thank you, Ji. Now we can recite the prayer. Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Paranane. Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Sri Rama Nama Varanana Om Nama Iti. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Now I would like to call Arnaji to do the pledge.
Om Namo Narayanaaya. I, Sindhu Rajesh, residing at Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, India, will be taking Shri Vishnu Sahasranamam forward to the future generations. I will seek God's blessings before I start my day. I will hold my parents and gurus in highest esteem and treat them as God. I will let elders be my guide and respect all women as I would my mother. I will strive for purity of heart, soul, and the environment. I will uphold the honor of my motherland and strive for harmony. I will be a guardian of my family, social and cultural heritage. With this pledge, I start my chanting, God bless me, help me and guide me. Hari Om Guruji.
हरि ओम शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां विना वेङ्कटेशं ननाथो ननाथः सदा वेङ्कटेशं स्मरामि स्मरामि हरे वेङ्कटेश प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रियं वेङ्कटेश प्रयच्छ प्रयच्छ ओम नमो वेङ्कटेशाय. My pranams everybody. Let's move on to shloka number 5 of the Mangalasasana.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram. So let me have the first volunteer.
Vijayalakshmi ji. Vijayalakshmi ji.
Unmute. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Nityaya Niravadhyaya.
Nityaya Niravadhyaya. Nityaya Niravadhyaya.
Satyananda Chidatmane.
Satyananda Chidatmane. Satyananda Chidatmane.
Sarvantaratmane Shrimat.
Sarvantaratmane Shrimat. Sarvantaratmane Shrimat.
Venkateshaya Mangalam.
Venkateshaya Mangalam. Venkateshaya Mangalam.
Thank you. Next person.
Namaste.
Shanta Gopal Das ma'am. Shanta Gopal Das ma'am, please unmute. Shanta
Namaskaram,
Gopal
Guruji.
Das. Yes.
Yeah. So let's do
Namaskaram,
half of
Guruji.
shloka. Namaskaram. Let's do half of shloka. Nityaya Niravadhyaya Satyananda Chidatmane.
नित्याय निरवत्याय सत्यानन्दसिदात्मने नित्याय निरवत्याय सत्यानन्दसिदात्मने
सर्वान्तरात्मने श्रीमद्वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
सर्वान्तरात्मने श्रीमद्वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम् सर्वान्तरात्मने श्रीमद्वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
It is not da, it is the सर्वान्तरात्मने श्रीमद्.
सर्वान्तरात्मने श्रीमद्वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम् श्री सर्वान्तरात्मने श्रीमद्वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
Correct. Okay. Next person.
Anandi Mohan Kumar. Anandi Mohan Kumar ji, please unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's do the full
Namaskaram.
sloka. Namaskaram. Nityaya Niravadhyaya Satyananda Chidatmane Sarvantaratmane Shrimat Venkateshaya Mangalam.
नित्याय निरवत्याय सत्यानन्दचितात्मने सर्वान्तरात्मने श्रीमद्वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्. नित्याय निरवत्याय सत्यानन्दचितात्मने सर्वान्तरात्मने श्रीमद्वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
Okay. Here also you have to make it Sarvanta. It is not da, it is Sarvanta. Okay. So let's see the meaning.
सर्वान्त
So let's see the meaning. Srimat Venkateshaya Mangalam. So one who is along with Mahalakshmi, Sri Mahalakshmi, Venkatesha, one who is the Lord of this Lord of this hill, Venkatesha. Mangalam, let that be auspicious to you. So all other things are adjectives for Venkatesha. What are the adjectives? Nityaya. Nitya means always. So what it means is present in all, that is, it is timeless. That is, he was present in a person who is called as Nitya is who was present in the past, who is currently present, and is going to be present in future. All the three periods of time, that person is called as Nitya. Bhagavan is the person who has been ever present. There is no time when he was not present. He was present in the past. He is present now. He is going to be present in the future. All of us are only relatively present. That is, it is called as absolute existence. Bhagavan is absolute existence. Ours is relative existence. We were not there for some period of time. We are here and for some period of time, and after some time we may not be there. So ours is only relative existence. So Bhagavan's absolute existence, and therefore is called as Nityaya. Niravadhyaya. That means it is defectless, blemishless. Even the Jivatma is also Nityaya, but unfortunately we are not identified ourselves because there is no, this decay or decline for the Jivatma also. But then what we are not identified ourselves with Jivatma, we identify with this body, mind, and intellect, and therefore we feel we are perishing. No, Niravadhyaya. That means the Jivatma is clouded with its, the desires and as well as this karmas. So whatever we do it for ourselves, and whatever we have a lot of desires to be fulfilled, and therefore the Atma is covered by that cloud. The Jivatma is covered by this cloud of this, the desires, vasanas, and the karmas, the actions that we perform. So once that is removed, then that becomes Niravadhyaya. It is also defect free. But unfortunately, we are not in that situation. Whereas Bhagavan is always, because he is Avapta Samasta Kama. That means all his, in fact, later on in one of the slokas, we are going to say Purna Kama. That means all his desires are completely fulfilled. So since Bhagavan doesn't have any desires to fulfill, there is no desire in him. And all his actions are performed only for the Lokachema, for the benefit of the society, not for anything for himself. And therefore, his Paramatma is not covered by any of these doshas. So that means without any defect or the dosha free is called as Niravadhyaya. Satyananda Chidatmane. Satya Ananda Chit Atmane. These are the four words of the Satya. Satya means truth. The truth. Bhagavan, the truth. Sat also means existence because the root word comes from Sat. Satya means what exists. Ultimately, truth alone exists. Even if it's a falsehood, falsehood doesn't exist. Falsehood can be many, but it doesn't exist. But then Satya, the truth alone exists. And the Bhagavan is the complete existence and he is the truthful, he is the truth himself. Satchidanandam, and therefore is called as Satya Ananda. Other way of interpreting Ananda, Satya Ananda also, it is the true Ananda. All of us also get some Ananda. That means we get some happiness or some pleasure when our desires are fulfilled. But then it doesn't remain permanent. Whereas Bhagavan is true Ananda. That means he is always Ananda. He is Ananda Swarupam. That means he is condensed bliss. And also you can interpret as Satyananda. He is the true Anandam Bhagavan has got, and therefore is called as Satyananda. Chitta means consciousness. That means it is ever aware. It is ever aware of himself, and therefore is called as Chitta Atmani. So to that Paramatma, Sarva Antar Atmani Srimat Venkata, we have seen that. Sarva Antar Atmani. Sarva Antaha Atmani. Sarvaha means all. Antaha means inside. Atmani, that means he is residing in all the Jivatmas. Here the Atmana refers to the Jivatmas. See, a person who is residing inside all the Jivatmas as the inner controller. Antaryami, we call it as no. Antaha Yami. Yama means controlling. Is the inner controller of all the Jivatmas. Be it human beings or be it animals or birds or anything. Even in the inner things, Bhagavan is present as the Antaryami, and therefore is called as Sarva Antar Atmane. So one who is present in the inside of all of us, and to that to Sri Venkatesha, let that be auspiciousness. So a person who is present in all periods of time, who is defectless, who is the true nature, true Ananda, who is always a awareness or consciousness of himself, and then who is the person who is residing as the inner controller of all the Jivatmas, to that Paramatma, who is manifesting as Lord Venkatesha in Tirumala Hills, along with Mahalakshmi Tayar. So let that be auspicious too. So that is the meaning of this shloka. Let's move on to the next shloka.
Bhuvana Dinesh ji. Please unmute. Bhuvana Dinesh ji.
Yes, ma'am. Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaskaram. Swata Sarva Vide.
Swata Sarva Vide. Swata Sarva Vide.
Sarva Shaktaye.
सर्वशक्तये सर्वशक्तये
सर्वशेषिणे
सर्वशेषिने सर्वशेषिने
सुलभाय
सुलभाय सुलभाय
सुशीलाय
सुशीलाय सुशीलाय
वेंकटेशाय मंगलम.
वेंकटेशाय मंगलम वेंकटेशाय मंगलम.
Thank you. Next person.
Thank you, Guruji.
Annapurani ji, please. Annapurani ji, please.
Namaskaram. Let's do half of shloka. Swatas sarva vide sarva shaktaye sarva seshine.
स्वतः सर्वविदे सर्वशक्तये सर्वशेषिने स्वतः सर्वविदे सर्वशक्तये सर्वशेषिने
सुलभाय सुशीलाय वेंकटेशाय मंगलम.
सुलभाय सुशीलाय वेंकटेशाय मंगलम् सुलभाय सुशीलाय वेंकटेशाय मंगलम्.
Thank you. Next person.
Kalaivani ji, please. Kalaivani ji, please.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Namaskaram, Guruji.
Okay. Namaskaram. Let's do the full shloka. Swatas sarva vide sarva shaktaye sarva seshine sulabhaya sushilaya venkateshaya mangalam.
स्वतः सर्वविदे सर्वशक्तये सर्वशेषिने सुशीला सुलभाय सुशीलाय वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्. स्वतः सर्वविदे सर्वशक्तये सर्वशेषिने सुलभाय सुशीलाय वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
Thank you. Let's see the meaning. Venkateshaya mangalam, to that Lord of Venkata Hills, let there be auspiciousness. Swataha sarva vide. Swataha means swa, means one's own. Tva. Taha means one, it has come on its own. He doesn't need anybody else's support. And that person is what? Sarva vide. The knowledge is full. Sarva vide means one who knows everything, omniscient. So one who knows everything and all these things he doesn't depend on anything else. It comes on its own, from its own. That means swataha. That means all these qualities come from on its own. It doesn't need the support of anybody else. So sarva vide. So one who is omniscient, who knows everything in this universe. Sarva shaktaye, omnipotent. So he knows he has got this complete strength, the entire strength, because the creating the universe, sustaining this universe, annihilating this universe, all these things are done by Bhagavan himself without support from anybody else, and he does on its own out of his own sankalpa. So he has got that great strength, sarva shakti, omnipotent. And then sarva seshine. Sarva seshine means he is the person to whom everything belongs. That is sesha. Sesha means all of us are jivatmas or sesha. Sesha means not complete. That means it is not we are not complete in the sense that we are dependent on Bhagavan for everything, and therefore we are incomplete. Seshi means one is complete in itself. That means he has got everything with him, and therefore he is called as Seshi. Sarva Seshine. That means one is complete with everything, possessing everything with him, and therefore he is called as Sarva Seshine. Sulabhaya. So that means it may look as though the first line, if you read that, oh, he is omniscient, he is omnipotent, he has got all the strength, he has got everything under him, then he must be very difficult to be approached. Not so. Exactly the opposite. Sulabhaya. Very, very easy to be approached. All that is required is innocent love for Bhagavan. That is all that is Bhagavan expecting. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need any grandeur. He doesn't need a great show of, these yaga yajnas to be performed. Not that they may not be performed. It can be performed. But then with the spirit of complete surrender and with the sense of innocence and with the sense of love for the Bhagavan. To do anything for the love. That's why Bhagavan says in Gita, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadam Bhakti Pratam Ashnami Priyatat. That means even if a person offers me a patram, just a tulasi leaf, pushpam, a small flower, but patram pushpam phalam, one banana is only what is available with Bhagavan, I'm offering it. Palam toyam, nothing is available. I'm offering a drop of water. Toyam means a drop of water. That itself is sufficient. In fact, the Vyakhyanakatas go to the extent of saying It doesn't mean that you take a drop of water. It means when you're not able to offer anything, I don't have tulsi leaf to offer, I don't have the flower to offer, I don't have the fruit to offer, you must be shedding tears. Oh Bhagavan, I'm not able to offer you anything. So you shed tears. That itself is sufficient. That toyam, that shedding of the tear, that one drop of water that you shed for Bhagavan, that Bhagavan says is enough for me. Pastam pushpam palam toyam. The underlying word is yome bhaktya. Bhakti is the word to be underlined in that. Bhaktya prayachet. That means if you offer it with love and affection, I completely accept whatever that person says. So that means Bhagavan is the easiest person to be approached as long as you have the love. In fact, if you look at the a lot of examples. One Kurukshetra, this Mahabharatam, you find that when Krishna goes as a messenger to the royal court of Dhritarashtra, so he arrived in the evening, and therefore Dhritarashtra said, "Let's meet in the Rajya Sabha tomorrow." So everybody is inviting Krishna to their respective homes for dinner. Bhagavan refuses all of them, and then ultimately goes to the home of Vidura. Vidura did not even invite him, but Vidura thought that he was, I'm such a simple man. Dasi Putra, so how will Bhagavan come to me? But Bhagavan on his own, uninvited, goes to his house and takes the fruit that is not even the fruit. In that excitement, Vidura throws out all these bananas and gives only the banana skin. Bhagavan accepted the banana skin also as what was offered with love. So Bhagavan is easy to be approached, and therefore is called as Sulabhaya. Susilaya. Shila means good qualities. Susila has got all the good qualities in him. And therefore, to that Mahal, Venkatesa, who is none other than Sriman Narayana, let there be auspicious. Susila also refers to one of the qualities called as Bhagavan's ability to move with all the people equally. The example being given is in Srimad Ramayana, you find that Rama moved with, this, when he met this Guha, who was only a boatsman, he said, with Guha, we have become 5 people, we are 4 people, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. Now with Guha, we have become 5 people. With that boatsman, he was able to move freely with him. Similarly, when he went and met this Sugriva, who was a monkey king, he said, Sugrivanam Aruvaranam. That means along with Sugriva, we become 5, has become 6. Again, when he goes to this Rakshasa, when this Rakshasa king, this Vibhishana comes, when Vibhishana comes, he becomes 7. So that means he was ability to move with different types of people. A boatsman, a monkey king, a Rakshasa, all people took equally with all these people, and that quality is called as Sushila. Now let's move on to the next sloka.
Konda Shamsundarji, please. Please unmute me.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Parasmai Brahmane.
Parasmai Brahmane. Parasmai Brahmane.
Purnakamaya.
Purnakamaya. Purnakamaya.
Paramatmane.
Paramatmane. Paramatmane.
Prayunje.
Prayunje. Prayunje.
Paratatvaya.
Paratatvaya. Paratatvaya.
Venkateshaya Mangalam.
Venkateshaya Mangalam. Venkateshaya Mangalam. Namaskaram,
Thank
Guruji.
you. Namaskar. Next person.
Tripura Sundari, please. Tripura Sundariji, please unmute. Nityaji, please.
Yes, ma'am. Namaskaram,
Okay,
Guruji.
let's do the half of sloka. Parasmai Brahmane Purnakamaya Paramatmane.
Parasmai Brahmane Purnakamaya Paramatmane. Parasmai Brahmane Purnakamaya Paramatmane.
Prayunje Paratatvaya Venkateshaya Mangalam.
Prayunje Bharatatvaya Venkateshaya Mangalam. Prayunje Bharatatvaya Venkateshaya Mangalam.
Thank you. Next person.
Tripura Sundariji, please.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Let's do the full sloka. परस्मै ब्रह्मणे पूर्णकामाय परमात्मने प्रयुञ्जे परतत्त्वाय वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
परस्मै ब्रह्मणे पूर्णकामाय परमात्मने प्रयुञ्जे परतत्त्वाय वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
Once again.
परस्मै ब्रह्मणे पूर्णकामाय परमात्मने प्रयुञ्जे परतत्त्वाय वेङ्कटेशाय मङ्गलम्.
Thank you. Let's see the meaning. Venkateshaya, for that Lord of Venkatagiri. Mangalam, that means auspicious. Prayunje, that means I offer. That means Prayunja means offering. So I am offering the auspiciousness to Lord Venkatesha. Now, who is that Venkatesha? Parasmai. So that means he is the Param. That means he is the ultimate, supreme. He is the supreme. That means like Bhagavan said in Gita, Matta Parataram Nanyati Kinchidastidana. That means beyond me there is nothing else, Arjuna. So he is the ultimate. So that means Parasmai. So to that ultimate Purusha, Sri Venkatesha. Brahmane, he is the Brahman, Paramatma, Brahman. All these things are, the Brahman. What the meaning of the word Brahman is big, very big. So that's what is the Brahma. Brahatvatat Brahma iti uchyate. That means is the biggest. Why did they say as biggest? In English language, we have something called adjective. Adjective is what? Adjective is which qualifies the noun. Supposing if I say, this is an elephant. I say this is an elephant. So when I say this is a big elephant, big is the adjective. Similarly, I say this is my thumb. So this is a big thumb. So I use the word adjective. Big thumb is very big. The big thumb is, I'm qualifying that thumb. So I'm saying the word big in both the places, big elephant and big thumb. Now the big is the common thing which is there in both the adjectives. Now the adjective itself gets qualified by the noun. For example, when I say big elephant, you can imagine the elephant, the size of the elephant to be so big. But then when I say the big thumb, you don't imagine that big to be the size of the elephant itself. So the big gets qualified, the adjective gets qualified by the noun it follows. So that's why the people have said Brahman. Brahman means without saying anything else, without comparing with anything else. So that means it is so big there is no comparison to it at all. And therefore they have said just Brahman means very big. So that means Bhagavan is the big. That because the entire universe is Bhagavan himself, and therefore is called as Brahmane Purna Kamaya. Kama means desires, Purna means fulfill. All his desires are completely fulfilled. That's why Bhagavan is called as Avapta Samasta Kaman. So Kaman means desires, all desires. Avapta means fulfill. Avapta Samasta means all desires of Bhagavan are fulfilled. That's why he's called as Purna Kamaya. So almost all desires are completely fulfilled. So nothing else to Bhagavan desires in this world. Therefore he's called as Purna Kamaya Paramatmane. Among all the Atmas, all the Jivatmas, he is the supreme, and therefore he's called as Paramatmane. Paratatvaya. Tattva means the truth. The greatest truth is Bhagavan himself. Bhagavan is the greatest truth, and therefore is called as Paratatvaya. So that means Bhagavan is the greatest truth. There is no truth which is greater than Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvam Na Jane. So Madhusudana Saraswati, who was a great Advaitist who came in the lineage of Adi Shankara Bhagavad Padal, he says, Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvam Na Jane. That means I don't know anything which is the truth which is greater than Krishna himself. That's what he says. So he's the ultimate truth. The truth is Paratattvam. Truth means what exists. There is nothing which exists beyond, and therefore is called as Paratattva. So that means my I offer my auspiciousness to Lord Venkatesha, who is the supreme person, who is the greatest person, who has got all his desires fulfilled, who is the best among all, who is the highest among all the Atmas, and then he is the ultimate supreme truth. To that Venkatesha, my salutations. That's what is this sloka. I think we'll stop with that. It's already 6:15, so we'll continue with the discussion tomorrow. Let's go for the ending prayer.
Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने श्रीराम नाम वरानन ओम नम इति हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे सर्वं कृष्णार्पणमस्तु नमस्कारम गुरुजी थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you, धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you, devotees.
you.